Welcome everybody to my, I guess, preview of my playthrough of Pokemon Sword. I did choose Pokemon Sword because all of my friends, and I guess even maybe, I don't know any family that's bought it, I'll just say friends who have all bought in, friends and coworkers who have bought in Pokemon, all wanted me to get Pokemon Shield because everyone is choosing Sword. Since they're trying to pressure me so hard, because I was pretty indecisive, I decided, screw you guys, I'm just going to get Sword. Two, so I'm not going to get Shield so that I'm not going to be hounded for the rest of this time, whatever. And I can get into why I chose Sword in a little bit anyway, if even anyone cares. I got plenty of time to talk about that. I understand the title to this video is going to be very clickbaity, and probably a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and I accept and understand that I'll probably get a lot of hate for this. Not necessarily that, but just a lot of people disagreeing with me. And that's fine. I just wanted to start this video out with saying I could be very sarcastic, and I feel like this playthrough is probably going to be a little bit more negative and sarcastic than normal. However, I do want to say that I'm going to try to not be negative. And I mean, sarcastic, I don't know. I think that part's kind of funny, and that's how I just like cope with things that I may not agree with in the game, but take that as you will. So the few things that I want to address in this game before I actually start playing it is, one, let's just talk about the graphics. So it depends on how you want to compare your graphics. I have heard that Pokemon Sword and Shield were made for the 3DS initially because Game Freak didn't think that the Switch is going to do very well. And I don't necessarily know how true that is, although I agree with it, or at least that it seems plausible to me at the very least, because this looks like a 3DS game that they just kind of threw onto the Switch. Whether that's true or not, I don't know exactly for sure, but it seems legitimate to me, at least plausible, like I said. So when you compare this to a previous Pokemon game, at least from what I've been able to watch, it looks really good. It looks really good. The graphics have been improved. One of the things that I complained about when I played like X and Y and even Alpha Sapphire or whatever is that when you do like gym battles or like multiplayer battles, there would just be like holograms of people. There wouldn't even actually be people. When you look at this, they've really filled out the space. There's actually people cheering in the crowd. So even just like little quality of life improvements like that are really good. And so I like that. I have seen videos though on how when like I have mentioned that I want to go into a battle and have the battle be exactly where you're standing, and so there's not this kind of like cutaway or breakaway, and it just kind of keeps the game in one solid piece. And I've seen videos where it just does the wrong battle arena, period. And so I guess that kind of brings me into part 2 or 1.1, we'll say. When you compare this to Legend of Zelda, or like Breath of the Wild, I'll say, or Mario Odyssey, or even Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, you start running into hiccups because those games look really polished, they look really good, a little plasticky. Like I think I like the art style of this a little better, but the I'll just say overall quality and polish is better in those other games. Well, I mean, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee for sure, and then especially if you think about how this could kind of have maybe a different color palette, but kind of the same style as maybe Breath of the Wild. I know maybe I'm totally wrong, that's fine. Just the polish is completely off there. And you think about it, and these guys are making at least what 5 games at a time, because they made the town, and then they made Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and Sword and Shield. So they're making 5 games at a time, and it's just kind of on them for not scaling properly or whatever they're choosing. And then the whole Dexit thing, I wanted to bring that up because that's very easy to talk about. I lost a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon that I love, and I think I'm going to name my Pokemon in this after Pokemon that I'm missing out on Gen 1. And aside from all their lies and excuses and whatever that they've got going on, to only bring in half to me is unacceptable. What I think a good compromise would have been, and I'm sure people have said this before, I don't know if I've ever heard of it, but my compromise is allow people to have all of their Pokemon, but if you want to battle competitively, then you can only do the regional decks. That makes sense to me. And I know they said they couldn't import it. They wanted to make great animations, and I've seen so many videos on Reddit and YouTube of how good their animations are. and they had to rebuild everything from scratch, even though it looks like they're just imported from 3DS models, and they've completely just copied characters from Sword and Shield. And I accidentally clicked one too far. So those are kind of my two big ones, is the graphics quality, the polish, and then Dexit. And other than that, I had more, but I guess I just wanted to say, aside from all of those things, I want to give this game an honest chance. I really do. And I think that the RPG side of it will probably really be fun. And like the story-wise, I'm sure it's going to be kind of generic. It's going to be kind of the same Pokemon feel, where it's just kind of the same story rehashed over and over again. But again, from some of the preview videos that I've seen, the Galar region looks really cool, and I want to like the game. But they've given me so many reasons to not like the game. So with that being said, I'm going to attempt my best at being positive and happy through this playthrough. And I wanted to give it like a rating out of 10, and then minus that rating out of all of the Pokemon that I'm missing. Like, let's say like Zapdos and Articuno, that takes you down to an 8, Nidoking and Nidoqueen, that takes you down to a 6, and then there's Beedrill, that takes you down to a 5. They've got the Eevees, so that's good, and then Dragonite, so that takes you down to a 4. And, or Alakazam, which takes you down to a 3. So that's not going to be fair either, because I don't want to look into it more. Vileplume's another one. I have a shiny Vileplume. I have a few shinies that I have actually legitimately caught that I can't take in. And so what, I'm just going to park them in home for a year and a half, and then I'll get them, but then I won't get the others. So that part's really disappointing. But I do still get Arcanine and Gengar and Gyarados, and you know what, it's really made me hate Charizard. Dude, Squirtle, freaking Squirtle, look at him back there. Ugh. I know he might be like a special event Pokemon, or they might let you have him in the game later, but man, what a heartbreaker. So anyway, I spent so much time playing X and Y when I first started doing trying to hatch eggs, and I finally got a Squirtle that was a shiny, and then I turned it into Blastoise. It was totally the wrong nature. Its stats weren't very good, but anyway, I took the time. It took me days to do it, and I was so excited. So I'm starting to ramble, and so you know, I'm getting to the diminishing returns point. And so I'm going to try to probably compare this to other Pokemon games, even though I don't think that's fair, because I think the Switch is a great platform, and I think they were crazy to not get ready for this initially, because what were they going to do? Just make games for the 3DS forever? They have no excuses, and I kind of already love-hate this game. And people might even ask, why did you buy it then? Because I've been waiting since I was a kid to play this game. Like, to play a full-on Pokemon RPG, even with some multiplayer aspects, on a home console. And I finally have it, and that's why I want to say that Game Freak is punishing us for wanting this. Like, oh sure, you wanted this on, you know, Switch for 15 years, or however many years long, and sure, you've got a main core game on a home console now, but sorry, it's half-baked. Quality and animations and graphics and bugs, and oh, we had to cut half of the Pokemon out of the game, and oh, you don't like this reason? Well, let's just give you some other half-baked responses, just like this game is. And so that's why I feel like we're being punished for wanting it for so long. And again, I'm totally cool with everyone disagreeing with me, and I'm going to try to have an open mind and to appreciate the game anyway. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see if anyone watches the playthrough with me. There's going to be jokes and sarcasm abound, so I guess look forward to that, and hopefully the game surprises us in a good way. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys hopefully soon. Peace.